Welcome to the season of self-love, your daily dose of inspiration and encouragement. I'm your host, Nyomi, and I am thrilled to be here with you today. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery. Are you ready to elevate your mindset and embrace the power of self-love? Or have you come to the right place? Each day we'll dive into topics that will empower and inspire you on your journey towards self-discovery and personal growth. Whether you're looking to cultivate healthy relationships, boost your confidence, or find balance in your life, this podcast is here to support your every step on the way. We believe that self-love is the foundation of living a fulfilled and joyful life. And together we explore practical tips, insightful interviews, and transformative stories that will leave you feeling inspired and motivated. So join me Monday through Friday as we embark on this daily adventure of self-love. Tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast to start your day on a positive note and discover the limitless potential within yourself. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today is Wednesday, January 31st, 2024, and I want to welcome you all back. All of my beautiful listeners. I am your host, Nyomi here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and it has truly been a pleasure to have you along on this voyage of introspection and growth. And in our prior episodes, we discussed the importance of intentions in numerous facets of our lives, ranging from daily routines to self-care to everything. But today we'll put all these pieces back together to look at it for a big picture of living with intentions. All right. This is our final day for this series right here on setting intentions for the year of 2024, of living a year of dominance, to dominating every aspect of our lives. And what I want to do is I want to take a quick break, and then when we come back, I want to talk about living with intentions and creating a purposeful and fulfilling life. All right. It's your girl, Goddess Nyomi here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back. Hey, my sexy people, are you ready for a transformative conversation? Well, tune in to Ask NmW&x next week as we dive into the topic of mental health and well-being. Join us on Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as we explore the challenges and stigmas around mental health. And we'll be discussing anxiety, depression, and the power of self-care. But guess what? That's not all. We're excited to introduce our special guest, Dr. William C. Washington. He is a renowned health psychologist and the founder of Washington Wellness. Dr. Will be sharing his expertise and groundbreaking holistic approach to transforming mental illness. So get ready to be inspired. This episode will break barriers and create a supportive community. We believe in embracing awareness and breaking down stigmas surrounding mental health. So make sure you tune in next Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for an eye-opening conversation on Ask NmW&x.
Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast with Nyomi, where every day is a chance to embrace self-discovery and personal growth. Join Nyomi on a transformative journey, streaming exclusively on Spotify and Breaker. With daily episodes from Monday through Friday, podcast is your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and self-love. Dive deep into engaging conversations about self-care, mindfulness, and personal development. Nyomi brings you expert insights, practical tips, and uplifting stories from thought leaders in the field. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock the power of self-love. Mark your calendars and tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast, available every weekday on Spotify and Spreaker. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself and embrace the beautiful season of self-love. Get inspired and join Nyomi on the Season of Self-Love podcast.
All right, welcome back. It's your girl, Goddess Nyomi here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And today we're talking about living with intentions and creating a purposeful and fulfilling life. And what I want to do, I want to begin with exploration today. that we begin with a breathing technique and to relax and open our mind and open our brains. And this practice will assist us to fully embracing the concept of deliberate living. So I want you to join me for a quiet moment as we prepare to absorb and accept the lessons of living life for purpose and intention. So I want you to find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down, and gently close your eyes and take a moment to settle into your body and let go of any distractions. Take a deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs with fresh air, and hold it for a moment. Then exhale slowly and completely through your mouth, releasing any tension and stress. Now inhale deeply again, feeling the air filling your belly and expanding like a balloon. I want you to hold it for a second, then exhale. Slowly allowing your belly to flatten as you release the air. Now, as you continue to breathe deeply, bring your focus to the concept of deliberate living. And with each inhale, imagine yourself inhaling clarity, purpose, intention. Feel these qualities filling every cell of your being. Now, as you exhale, I want you to let go of any doubts, distraction, or fears that may be holding you back from living deliberately. I want you to release any limitations or self-imposed restrictions. I want you to continue this pattern of deep, intentional breathing, inhaling clarity and purpose and exhaling doubt and limitations. So with each breath, feel yourself becoming more aligned with your true desires and your values. And I want you to embrace the concept of deliberate living, where every action is intentional and every choice is made with purpose. So as we end this breathing exercise, I want you to take one final deep breath in, filling yourself with the energy of deliberate living. And as you exhale, release any remaining tension or resistance. Now open your eyes and feel refreshed and ready to embrace each moment with intentions and purpose. And I want you to carry this practice of deliberate with you throughout your day, making conscious choices that align with your values and desires. And remember, deliberate living is about taking control of your own life and making choices that reflect who you truly are. So by practicing this breathing exercise regularly, you can cultivate a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment in all that you do. And again, I thank you for sharing this space with me at this moment in time. And if this is your first time tuning in here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, this is something that we do Monday through Friday on a regular. And this is just our making sure that we take care of ourselves and is part of our self-love routine, part of our self-love routine. All right. All right. So now let's get into the topic in hand, is living with intentions and creating a purposeful, fulfilling life. All right. And in this section, we will look at the idea of living with aim. We will look at what it means to live purposely and how doing it so can lead to a greater fulfillment and satisfaction, and understanding how purpose affects our daily lives and essential for harnessing our power. So the concept of living with intentions and impacts to fulfillment. Living with aims means having a clear and specific direction of goals in your life, and it involves identifying what you want to achieve and then aligning your actions and decisions and priorities accordingly. The definition of aim can vary from person to person, as is subjective. However, generally speaking, aim refers to specific objectives or purpose that we strive to accomplish. And it provides us with a sense of directions and gives us meaning to our actions. So to live purposely means to live with intention, consciously choosing the path we want to take and making decisions that are aligned with our goals and our values. And it involves us to be proactive rather than reactive. So taking control of our lives and actively creating the future we desire. As well as living purposely, we can lead to a more fulfilling and satisfying life because it brings clarity, motivation, and a sense of fulfillment when we have a clear purpose. So we are more likely to engage in activities that we enjoy and that are aligned with our values. And this can bring a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. We are living authentically and in line with what is important to us. All right, so what is important to us? So understanding how our purpose affects our daily lives is very crucial when we have a sense of purpose. It can provide us with a direction and motivation, and it can give us a reason to get out of bed in the morning and fuel our actions throughout the day. Purpose also helps us to prioritize our time and our energy and focus on what truly matters to us and letting go of distractions or activities that do not align with our goals. So living with purpose allows us to make conscious choices and decisions that contributes to our overall happiness and well-being. And it helps us to cultivate a sense of meaning and fulfillment, and leading to a more satisfied and fulfilled life. So now that we got the gist of that, what I want to do is I want to take a quick break and come back. And when we come back, we're going to talk about practical steps of creating purposeful, intentional life, all right? It's your girl, the Goddess NmW&x here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And we'll be right back. Hey, my sexy people, are you ready for a transformative conversation? Well, tune in to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap next week as we dive into the topic of mental health and well-being. Join us on Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as we explore the challenges and stigmas around mental health. And we'll be discussing anxiety, depression, and the power of self-care. But guess what? That's not all. We're excited to introduce our special guest, Dr. William C. Washington. He is a renowned health psychologist and the founder of Washington Wellness. Dr. Will be sharing his expertise and groundbreaking holistic approach to transforming mental illness. So get ready to be inspired. This episode will break barriers and create a supportive community. We believe in raising awareness and breaking down stigmas surrounding mental health. So make sure you tune in next Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for an eye-opening conversation on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. All right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, the Goddess NmW&x here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And today we are talking about, what are we talking about today? Let me look at my notes, y'all. Let me look at my notes. What are we talking about today? Living with intentions and creating a purposeful and fulfilling life. And in our last segment, we talked about the exploration of the concept of living with intentions and its impact in fulfillment. And creating a meaningful and intentional life entails particular procedures and behaviors. And in this segment, I'll walk you through some practical techniques of infusing intentions into your life. Everything from creating clear goals to integrating your daily actions with your deeper values and purpose. And all of this will be covered, all right? So creating a meaningful and intentional life involves adopting certain procedures and behaviors that are aligned with your values and goals. And here are some practical techniques for infusing intentions into your life, all right? One is defining your values and goals. Take the time to reflect on what truly matters to you and identify your core values, and this will help guide your decisions and actions in alignment with its importance to you. This is something that we talk about a lot, about knowing what your core values are and choosing what those core values is. And if you're just tuning in here, it's something that I shared with my audience a few weeks ago, and I will continue to do, is that I had a course, Living in Bliss, finding your self-love within yourself. And within that, I had a list of, I think it's like 250 core value choices that you can write. And for me, it was 9, because 9 is my angel number. So I challenged them to choose nine core values of yourself and create a poem, or create ingredients of yourself that you're writing to yourself. And I thought that was an amazing practice to do. So if that's something that you want to do, I think it's great. I think it'd be a great practice. It's something that I even had them to print it out, put a design and print it out and post it on their wall. So it's actually something that is on my wall every day that I'm able to look at and read. And, kind of that's part of my self-love care, is looking at that and understanding what my true values is, what's the essence of my spirit and my soul. The next one is set clear intentions. Be intentional about what you want to achieve or experience in life, areas of your life, such as career, relationship, health, and personal growth, and so on. Write them down, write your intentions, and revisit these regularly to stay focused and motivated. A few weeks ago, we talked about just, creating different lanes of certain things. So first, they can be separate. And so you can kind of have a clear goal of the mind of what you want. And then as you get familiar with them, then start to combine them together, infuse them together with it. The next one is prioritize and declutter. Oh my God. Identify the activities and commitments and relationships that truly bring value to your life, and let go of those that don't align with your goals or values. So simplify your life to create space for what matters the most. Next one, and one of my favorites, is practice mindfulness. Cultivate a present moment of awareness by engaging fully in whatever you're doing. So being mindful allows you to make conscious choices and act in alignment with your intentions. Next is create a vision board or a journal. Use visual or written representations of your goals and aspirations to keep them at the forefront of your mind. And this can serve as a reminder and motivation to take intentional action towards them. Next is to take small steps daily. Yes, daily. Yes, break them down. Break your goals down into smaller, actionable steps that you can take daily. Consistent effort and progress, no matter how small, will help you to infuse intention into your life. And practice self-reflection. Regularly reflect on your actions, your decisions, and in your experience, and ask yourself if they are aligned with your intentions. And if they are, contribute to your overall sense of purpose and well-being, and adjust your course if necessary. And surround yourself with like-minded individuals. Seek out and connect with people who share similar values and goals. Having a supportive community can help you to stay accountable and provide inspiration and encouragement. And last, embrace self-care. Take care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. And I want you to prioritize your activities that nourishes and rejuvenate you, as they contribute to your ability to live with intentions. Oh, I forgot. Celebrate your progress. And practice gratitude. Oh my God, how can I forget that? Acknowledge and celebrate the milestones and progress you make towards your goals, and cultivate gratitude for what you have and the experience that comes your way, fostering a positive and intentional mindset. But also remember, infusing intention into your life is an ongoing process, and it requires a constant and a consistent effort in self-reflection. So I want you to be patient with yourself and embrace the journey towards living a meaningful and intentional life, all right? So those are some of the tips that I have for you. So what we're going to do, quick break, we're going to come back. And when we come back, I have some more tips of overcoming challenges of intentional living on this living path, all right? It's your girl, the Goddess Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast with Nyomi Banks, where every day is a chance to embrace self-discovery and personal growth. Join Nyomi on a transformative journey, streaming exclusively on Spotify and Breaker. With daily episodes from Monday through Friday, podcast is your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and self-love. Dive deep into engaging conversations about self-care, mindfulness, and personal development. Nyomi brings you expert insights, practical tips, and uplifting stories from thought leaders in the field. Embark on a journey of self-discovery and unlock the power of self-love. Mark your calendars and tune in to the Season of Self-Love podcast. Available every weekday on Spotify and Spreaker. Remember, it's time to prioritize yourself and embrace the beautiful season of self-love. Get inspired and join Nyomi Banks on the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Hey, my sexy people, it's your girl, the Goddess Nyomi Banks. And I finally did it. I've written my first book, well, actually, it's a living journal. It's called Good Morning, My Sexy People, where I share my stories in different posts, but help a healing workbook for you. So it's 90 days to kick off your healing living journey. Pre-purchase now. Go to asknyomi.com and hit shop. Listen. All right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, the Goddess Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And today we're talking about living with intentions, creating a purposeful and fulfilling life. This is the last day of a beautiful series that we have for January, and we talked about setting intentions for the year of 2024 to dominate in every aspect of your life. And I wanted to start something new. Is every month we'll do a series that we'll talk about something different. And in the month of January, it was all about setting intentions, on how we set intentions, affirmations, all of those things. And when I say we broke it down, we broke it all the way down. We broke it all the way down. And so today is the last day. Yes, I have a few more pages left for this, for my ebook. And my prayer is that I finish it by the end of the day, and that I'm able to post it where you all can be able to grab a copy of it. Yes. But again, today our topic is living with intentions and creating purposeful fulfillment. All right. All right. And our next segment is living with a purpose is not without its difficulties. And I'll provide some pointers for conquering typical roadblocks along the way. And we'll talk about how to avoid distractions, deal with setbacks, and stay focused on our goals in the face of hardship. See, overcoming roadblocks is an essential part of our personal growth and achieving your goals. And here are some steps for overcoming typical roadblocks. One is identifying the roadblocks. The first step is to recognize and define the specific roadblock that you are facing. It's a lack of motivation, a fear of failure, limited beliefs, resources, or it's something else. But understand the root cause of what it is, and will it help you to devise an effective strategy? Next is to break it down. Once you have identified what the roadblock is, break it down into smaller, manageable parts. This allows you to tackle each component individual and make progress by breaking it down. See, the roadblock becomes less overwhelming. The next thing is seek support. Reach out to friends, family, or mentors who can provide guidance and support. Often talking to someone without your roadblock can bring fresh perspectives and ideas on how to overcome it. And next is to set realistic goals. Set achievable goals that are realistic, giving you your circumstances and resources. By setting attainable targets, you'll build momentum and develop confidence in your ability to overcome obstacles, all right? And next is develop a plan. Yes, develop a plan. Create a detailed action plan that outlines the steps you need to take to overcome the roadblock. A structured plan will help you to stay focused and motivated even when faced with challenges. and learn from your failures. Embrace failures as learning opportunities rather than setbacks, and analyze what went wrong and identify lessons that can be applied in the future. So adjust your approach if necessary and keep moving forward. This is something we talked about a lot this month, is overcoming setbacks and using those so-called failures as lessons learned. And also practice self-care. Take care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being by prioritizing your self-care activities, such as exercise, relaxation techniques, and spending time with loved ones, and pursuing hobbies that rejuvenate you. A healthy and balanced state of mind can help you to overcome roadblocks more effectively. And stay positive and maintain a positive perspective, okay? A different part of perspective. Maintain a positive mindset and remember that setbacks are temporary. They're not always. Keep the big picture in your mind and focus on your long-term goals. Visualize yourself successful in overcoming those roadblocks and celebrate even small victories along the way. And embrace flexibility. Be open to adapting and adjusting your plans as needed. And sometimes roadblocks require creative solutions or change in direction. So being flexible allows you to find alternative routes to your goals and be persistent and persevere. This is the most important tip, is to never give up. Persevere through the roadblocks and stay determined and keep taking actions. And remember that every obstacle that you overcome brings you one step closer to your desired outcome. And I want you to remember, overcoming roadblocks is a journey with a persistent and the right mindset. And you can overcome any challenges that overcomes you. All right? All right, so we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back. And I'm going to share a little few things with you. I'm going to share some messages that I received the other day, as well as my message that I received today as well. All right, it's your girl, guys. NmW&x here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And we will be right back. Hey, my sexy people, are you ready for a transformative conversation? Well, tune in to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap next week as we dive into the topic of mental health and well-being. Join us on Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as we explore the challenges and stigmas around mental health. And we'll be discussing anxiety, depression, and the power of self-care. But guess what? That's not all. We're excited to introduce our special guest, Dr. William C. Washington. He is a renowned health psychologist and the founder of Washington Wellness. Dr. Will be sharing his expertise and groundbreaking holistic approach to transforming mental illness. So get ready to be inspired. This episode will break barriers and create a supportive community. We believe in embracing awareness and breaking down stigmas surrounding mental health. So make sure you tune in next Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for an eye-opening conversation on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. All right, well, welcome back. It's your girl, Goddess NmW&x here on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And today we were talking about living with intentional and creating purpose and fulfilling. In this segment, I'll share personal experience and examples from myself, how I embrace intentional living and how it demonstrates the power for me. All right. And so the other day I was, so let me go back a little bit. Last weekend, I've been having, extremely bad migraines. And I believe I shared this with you all before, that they were very disabling to me. And I hadn't felt it like this in so long. And oh my God, it's so long. But one of the messages that came from me, and I believe it was on Monday, it was the saying, your guidance is divinely guided. And I'm going to read this to you right now. I'm going to read this to you, and then I'm going to come back and tell you what message I got out of this, what made me think of my affirmations that I'm going to share with you. All right. So the saying is your guidance is divinely guided. And what it does is suggest that your advice or direction you receive is believed to come from a higher power or a divine source. And it implies that the guidance that you are receiving is not just random or ordinary, but it rather has a spiritual or supernatural origin. So this phrase often indicates a belief that the guidance being offered is inspired or influenced by a higher wisdom, such as an intuition or spiritual insights, or a guidance of deity, or a spiritual being. It implies that the guidance is not solely based on human knowledge or limited understanding, but rather drawn from a deeper, more profound source of wisdom. So by using this phrase, someone may be expressing their belief that the advice that they are providing is not just their own perspective or opinion, but is somehow connected to a higher truth or divine guidance. And it can be seen as a way to emphasize the significance and the trustworthiness of the guidance that is being given. And so for me, when I read my message, and my message wasn't that, just the words made me think that I am in the right place. I need to understand and I need to trust my journey. I need to trust my purpose. I need to have faith in myself. So everything that I am thinking and going about, I'm creating I'm creating a false narrative on what my life is today. Does that make sense? And so I have created, and I just spoke to somebody about this yesterday. I've created a sense of worriness, a sense of doubt in my mind. And even though I'm on here every day, Monday through Friday, speaking and talking with you on here about the very thing that we talk about limited belief. We talk about that old negativity coming in our mind and our brain and doing all kinds of things to our mind. I allow that to happen to myself. Unknowingly to myself. It truly helped with my migraine. When I sat in that moment and I thought about it, I said, wow. I said, I am overdoing it in my mind. I'm trying to be this perfectionist that I'm no longer. I am a recovering perfectionist. I have to understand that I cannot put a time limit on when my success will happen for me, or what my success looks like for me. I can't push how these podcasts grow. I can't push like hurry. I cannot do that. And I've been low-key doing that to myself. I'm going to be honest. I have low-key been doing that to myself. And in that process, I found myself overwhelming my daily activities. And so at that moment, when I thought about that affirmation, when I thought about that, I instantly thought, from now on, I'm going to live every moment of my day intentionally, meaning that every moment of my day, we only get 24 hours in a day. We only get 24 hours in a day. And if you're living right and you're sleeping right and you're being healthy, at least 8 of those hours you're sleeping. So now you have 16 hours left. In those 16 hours, I want to make sure that I'm spending time with my family, that I am living in my purpose, and I am living life. I don't want to be sitting behind this desk 16 hours let's say 14 hours out of those 16 hours that I have, and just thinking about what program that I'm going to do, what's my next show, what am I going to post on, to grow my podcast, and that's all that I was thinking. That's truly all how I'm going to grow this. I got this goal in mind. I set this goal in mind, and I'm going to get that goal in 3 months. My 3 months goal is this. And I forgot about my daily steps. I forgot about living in the moment, being intentional today in this moment. Even with me saying this to you guys, like literally, I just said this last week. I just said this last week, and it was like, girl, are you understanding where this is coming from? So you have truly created your own migraine. You have truly created your own anxiety because you're thinking about what's going to happen in 3 months instead of thinking about what's going to happen today. Don't get me wrong. It is great to have goals. It is. It is great to have goals. But when I tell you the importance of breaking it down, breaking them down to day, still have that big goal up there. And remember what I said the other day? Be delusional up there. But on your daily, take it day by day and use what you have today, what you have in your life today, the things around you that you have today, not what you wish you're going to have so I can do this better. Use what you have. Appreciate what God has given you right here, right now. Because if we keep worrying and thinking about what we're going to have 3 months now, 6 months now, 3 years from now, we won't get there because we're not focused on what we have today and working with what we have today. So that saying and that meaning for me, I live every moment of my day intentionally. I do. And it implies that individual is purposely and consciously choosing how they spend their time and their energy throughout the day. And what it signified a mindset of being fully present and engaged in each moment rather than just going through the motions or being on autopilot. And that's what I was. I was on autopilot, y'all. I was in here giving y'all these shows every day. Just going like, yes. But also for me, living intentional means that I am actively aware of my actions, my thoughts, and my choices throughout my day. And that I strive to align with the values and the roles and the goals and the priorities. It involves me being mindful on how I spend my time and my decisions that I make that would impact what I have on my well-being and my overall satisfaction. So by me affirming this statement, I am someone that expressing my commitment to live with purpose and meaning. I am taking responsibility for my own actions and consciously seeking to make the most of each of my moments. This is a powerful affirmation that I share with you and to reinforce the importance of being intentional and mindful on one's daily life, all right? All right, so I thank you for sharing this moment with me. And as we wrap out today's session, I invite you to consider on how you may incorporate greater intention in your life. And remember that living with intention, it entails making decisions that are in line with your innermost values and objectives. And I want to thank you for joining me on this trip. And I hope that you are encouraged to live a life that is not only meaningful, but also deeply satisfying. So accept the journey of deliberate living and witness on how it changes your life. And tune in tomorrow where our newest addition to the Ask Nyomi Elevate Me family is Dr. William C. Washington. And Dr. Will be joining me not only on Ask Nyomi tomorrow night for an amazing show about mental health and well-being, but he's also joining me here, right here on the Season of Self-Love as we begin a new series for the month of February. And it's about cultivating a positive mindset for dominance, all right? The power of positive affirmation and rewiring your mind for success. Again, thank you for sharing this space and this moment with me. Keep it sexy always. Have a good one. Thank you for listening to the Season of Self-Love podcast. If you have any questions or would like to connect with us, you can follow us on social media. Just search for the Season of Self-Love on Instagram. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to email us at elevateme9999@gmail.com. And remember, you are worthy of love, growth, and happiness. So keep shining bright, and I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Season of Self-Love. Be good to one another and yourselves, and always keep it sexy. Sending light, love, and prayer.